How dare you? I just had been through a nasty divorce prior to our relationship that caused tension amongst my family. The stress of my life had me frequently experiencing neurological episodes that resulted in the left side of my body going numb for days at a time. I had come to terms with the fact that I likely would never have children and that men were untrustworthy. Sorry to hear that. Then continual builder bear came along. He knew what he wanted. He wanted a large family and a strong woman that could raise that family with love. It scared me, and I told him so. I was honest. I told him I felt like he was on the other side of a wide river, walking this beautiful path. I feared that if I tried to cross over the current, was likely going to take me. I told him that the beautiful life he wanted was likely out of my reach. This was the email he gave me in response to those fears. This is a beautiful, beautiful letter. Okay. Don't fool yourself into thinking because you are afraid to cross the river that it will end there. I know how to swim and I'm not afraid of the current. I'm not out of options yet, and I'm happy to give you the space you need to make decisions on your own. If you wait too long, I will not get lost and wander down a path leading away from you. I will swim like fuck to cross the river to get to you. If you do decide to jump in the water and the current begins to take you away, I'll be there in seconds to hold you and try to rescue you. There are no other options for me, none of that you can be sure. My husband didn't remember sending me this. I showed it to him years later after we were married. Wow. Funny thought, last summer he spent an entire weekend clearing a path through the forest on our property so that my daughters and I can go for beautiful nature walks without ever having to leave the safety of our property. I laughed with tears in my eyes. He didn't just build the metaphorical forest path for me, but he also built me a literal one. This is where I hope the younger bears listening take notes. He never once promised me fancy pants and lollipops. He didn't promise that life would be easy and full of perfectly planned dates and romantic, expensive gifts. What he did promise me was a life filled with loyalty, love, and protection. He promised to be there to keep me grounded. He promised to weather every storm with me. He also kept every promise. Because of his strength, I can spend my time in our home loving and educating our daughters. I'm not a lonely, single, childless, cubicle working feminist. I'm a grateful wife and mother. It is because of my husband that I find joy every day in my life. This is why I can laugh until I cry at the thought of receiving a puzzle from my husband with my dead grandmother's face on it. I crack up at the thought of having to gently break it to him that I am beyond grateful for the thoughtfulness of the gift, but it creeps me out too much to actually put it together. I can imagine exactly the position Amy was in and giggle. The foundation of a relationship isn't built on the promise of physical gifts, but the promise to recognize and be grateful for the energy and commitment to that relationship and the ability to find joy and laughter in the craziest of moments. Thank you, Owen, for the laughter you bring us and the truth that you share. I'm grateful for this community and the hope it brings me for the future, especially my children's future. Happy to be Dbear.